Today is the second day of the Fundaments of a Man workshop. I slept really well, like really well. Like, you know, when you sleep, how you sleep when you're like just tired of a hard day work. It's just like you just fall on the bed and it's just like that. Honestly, I feel very aligned, like doing this, going to these kind of things. There's so much immersion in it and so much richness in it, and it's so potent. It's like I'm going through layers that have always been there for me, and I'm immersing myself into the actuality of it, into the texture of it, and seeping through the qualities of it. Like, how do I feel interacting in this kind of way with men? How do I feel having to express these things, to understand, to see, to acknowledge? It's one thing that I noticed yesterday, because during the sessions it can get quite physical, and when you get quite physical, there's a tendency to protect. So for me, in my own life, I know whenever the time or the situation required me to, and I knew that it's do or die, there was always the ability to respond absolutely without any restriction whatsoever, go all in. But usually, during my interactions with anyone really, there's always like a hidden tension of, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. And it's in the body. Like, there's always like, because my body has been, well, it's been through different situations, but I mean, I've had 2 small surgeries. So one on my leg, when there was a big cut, it had to be sewn, and one on my shoulder, when my shoulder was dislocated, and they had to, like, what do you call it? Had to repair it or realign it. And there are like some teeth things that were done also, but like almost every experience that I had at the hospital, it was not the most like it wasn't the most like, it didn't feel safe to me. I remember when I was a small kid and I had to get my polyps removed or something like that. I remember the doctor was like, open your mouth, open your mouth. It's like, what? So they strapped me into a chair, and my body was tied to a chair, and I was like 6 years old or something, and there was this moment where he forced the scissors into my mouth, and then he cut something, and it was like blood swollen, like some blood coming out. I was looking and I was like so shocked, like, what is he doing to me? Why is he doing this to me? And I remember that, how that felt in the body, how much, you know, shock there was. And the more and more that I've gotten like these incidents where I got hurt. I remember I was like biking one time and I fell on a bike, and there was like this nail that went straight into my foot like this, and I had to pull it out, and like I was done at home, but like when I saw that, I was like, there was such a deep fear to why is this happening? Oh my God, why is that stuff coming out? There was just like this this crisis reaction to it. And over the years, I've come to feel like a distrust to being in a hospital, to being at doctors, and there's like an unconscious like pattern or tension to always want to protect myself, not want to get hurt. And I noticed yesterday when we're like interacting with each other with men, you know, when you are giving intensity, when you're intensely involved in something physically, you can give it your 100%, or you can like gauge it and do 50, 60, 70 and like not overdo it. And so for me, like I remember when I was having a lot of dislocation in my shoulder. So after the first time that I got dislocated, there were times that I kept repeating because I didn't want to go through the operation. I thought it will heal on itself. But whenever I was going to the gym, it was like there was a moment that it dislocated. There was this one specific moment. I went to a swimming pool once, swimming too fast, dislocated. And I just kept putting it back, putting it back, putting it back. And then we went on this school trip. And there were like these guys, and they were like, come on, just test your strength, see who's stronger, you or him. And me and this other guy, we started to wrestle, and we were wrestling, and it was going well. And all of a sudden, I was using all my force, all my power, but then my shoulder just snapped, like click. And when that happened, I was like, oh, not again. And then I thought, like, okay, I need to do the operation. But after that, it's like whenever I now do like any physical activity, and especially when I have like some kind of interaction with other men, or where there's a lot of intensity, always like I realize like I don't have to do 100%. I can just stay at 50, 60, 70. So yesterday, some men, they were like going all in. They were like really like picking me up and pushing me in a certain way, and there was a lot of physicality to it. And I realized that in my body there was like this thing of like, I don't want to go all in because I don't want this to happen again. It was very interesting to observe that, how that conditioned response was working, was analyzing and adjusting. It's I don't know, it's like an AI, like an artificial intelligence. It's just like, it's so smart, the way that it just wants you to be safe. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There was there was another person who had like a I don't know why, but like I just want to share the story with this guy yesterday, but it's not coming out. Isn't that strange? Like, I had the thought of sharing a story, but then there was a feeling of like, maybe I shouldn't share that, and it's like, it's not streaming, it's not coming out. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, like, exposing myself in this way, it doesn't really give me anything. It only makes me aware of possibilities, makes me aware of a possibility of a new pattern, a possibility of an old pattern, a possibility of a change that can occur, or a transformation, or a different way of looking at things. And honestly, the way I feel it, it's like when you see something clearly, when there's an insight, when there's a sighting, it's automatically that your awareness, your intelligence adjusted itself to whatever what was seen, because it was so clear. You cannot not ignore it. You cannot not do it. Coming back home, I just feel so complete, so alone, so whole. And I realized for myself, wow, how wonderful is it to be so connected.